This video has been prepared for Mrs. Haynes' students who have a soprano recorder and are working on their white belt theory and song. Music has its own language. There are only 5 new pieces of the language that you need to know for our first belt. Staff, treble clef, also called the G clef, the notes B, A, and G, and the fingerings that go along with those notes. Let's look at staff first and see where it began. Several hundred years ago, before music was written as we know it today, a musician named Guido de Arezzo came up with a system using his hand that told his choir members which note he wanted them to sing. That system eventually evolved into what we now know as a staff. Just like we have 5 fingers, there are 5 lines on the staff. There are 5 lines on the staff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. In music, we always count the lines and spaces starting at the bottom. In music, the ovals, called notes, are placed on the lines with the line running through the middle of the note, or in the spaces between the lines. Notice how the line and space notes are the same size, but the line notes have the line running right through the middle of the note, and the space notes only touch the line on the top and bottom of the note. The treble clef is the symbol that gives us the key to the puzzle so that we know which note is which. The first G, or treble clef, looked like a G, but people started getting fancy, so now we have to look for the circle that goes around the line to know where the G is found. It's the second line from the bottom, and now that we know where G is, we know where all the other notes are too. This shows the line and space notes of the staff, but fortunately we don't have to learn all those at once. We will focus on only 3 of these notes. We are learning G on the second line from the bottom, the same line that the G clef, also known as the treble clef, circles around, A in the second space from the bottom, and B on the third line from the bottom. Notice that B is right in the middle of the staff. It is important to be able to know each note and how to read, write, and play each one, both separately and one after the other. Knowing which notes to cover when you see the note written on the page is also very important. To help us at first, there are pictures with black circles representing the holes that are covered and white holes representing the holes that are left open. Now that you know how to read the notes, you can practice sight reading by using the page you've been given and making a game out of doing each group of notes in a different order. See which ones sound the best together to make up a song. At first, put 2 together, then 3, then 4, then 5, then all 6. Choose a different order each time. Now let's learn our white belt song. First, put your recorder in rest position with the mouthpiece on your chin and your left hand on the top and your right thumb balancing right behind the smaller hole where finger 4 will eventually go. Now let's sing the note names in rhythm, making our fingers pretend to play the correct notes. Here's the first note. B, A, G, rest. B, A, G, rest. G, 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 A, A, B, A, G, rest. The next step is to play all the notes, still thinking the note names as you play. Here we go. When you can easily and accurately play it, you are ready to play it together in class and to pass your white belt playing test.